They finally did it. They put the belt on CM Punk, something I've been thinking they should have done a long time ago. Hello, everybody. My name is Sancho West, and welcome to Sancho West Wrestling. We're talking about all things wrestling, and today's episode is going to be my review of Saturday night's main event on November 1st in Salt Lake City. If you like more wrestling content, be sure to sub to the channel. I gotta say, overall, Saturday's main event is always in a strange place. Sometimes it's canon, sometimes it's not canon. It started off as a showcase, and now it's more having ripples effect into the main roster, as I talked about it in my previews. Now, when it comes down to predictions, Saturday's main event usually is for par. There's really nothing out of the ordinary. There's really nothing that's going to surprise you, in a sense where they're not going to have any title changes, and they just want to keep everything status quo. We're just going to say, hey, this is who we have. This is our champion. Come on by Monday night or Friday night and see them do what they do. That's typically what it's all about. But this is the first Saturday night's main event not on NBC. This is exclusive on Peacock. So there's a variable of something strange that might happen. And bottom line, 4 championship matches, and one of them had to go home as the champion because it was for a vacant title. But let's go ahead and break down the entire night, and starting off with the first match of the night, Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre for the Undisputed title. Now, this was an 18-minute and 45-second match. Now, the big stipulation of this match was, of course, is that Cody Rhodes gave away his championship advantage, that if he got DQ'd or count out, then Drew McIntyre would be champion. My only criticism about this match is that, yes, Cody Rhodes was most likely going to win. Did I predict that Drew McIntyre would win? Yes. And the reason why I did was because I thought the WWE would go, hey, let's put the belt on Drew and let's experiment. But damn, was I wrong, because the WWE doesn't like to experiment. They're all about what's best for business. It's very corporate if you really think about it. And I really do like Drew McIntyre calling Cody Corporate Cody, because he is obviously the corporate's choice. And it's so interesting at if you look at the lore of the WWE, the corporation, the authority, the ministry, corporation, whatever you want to call it, corporate ministry, it's all about what's best for business. And there's no doubt in my mind that Cody Rhodes is going to be the poster child for the WWE for a long time, because they just draw in so much money, and it's really not necessarily about pay-per-views, buys or sells or PLEs anymore. It's literally about gates. If you look at the WWE, that's all they want to talk about. We got the biggest gate draw of this city, the biggest gate draw of this pay-per-view. We have the biggest gate, and all these revenue talk from the WWE. In the past, in the 90s, when it's talking about pay-per-views, it was all about pay-per-view buys. How much can a main eventer draw in money from pay-per-view buys? But now that most of everything is streaming, especially the Peacock, the WWE doesn't really have to push the envelope when it comes to PLEs, because sometimes that's the B tier PLE just basically moves the ball along or passes the baton along to the next major PLE, like the SummerSlams, like the Survivor Series, like the WrestleManias, like the Royal Rumble, where they're usually typically ready to pull the trigger on something major, on the shock value. We thought we were gonna get something shocking at WrestlePalooza, and here I am again, front and center, thinking that the WWE would do shocking for the Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre, and boy, was I wrong again. The only interesting thing about this match was that Drew McIntyre wasn't playing for the pin. I love the heel tactics that he was trying to do to play for the count out or to play for the DQ on Cody Rhodes. It did negate him a little bit, because it's weird for him to be so weaselly, right? Drew McIntyre is a character that is physically there. He has the abilities to be a champion, but I don't know what the WWE is trying to tell me about him, that he is spoiled goods. And the more that Drew McIntyre loses, like, they only have 2 options: make him keep losing or make him lose and be more dangerous. I think that's what they're going to try to do here. They're going to make him a more dangerous type of heel superstar and make him disrupt the locker. But at the same time, every kind of program that a superstar gets with Drew McIntyre, whether it be in the main event level or the mid card, always talks about him complaining. And the more ammunition that the WWE gives Drew McIntyre, the more he's going to complain. And this is a clear-cut case. They gave him the DQ basically in the count out, and it didn't work out for him because Cody Rhodes DDTs him on the belt and for the win basically. And I feel if I was Drew McIntyre's character, I know everything's all scripted and things like that, I would not play into it. I'd be like, fine, that's how it is, and just go after what you want. Be a man of action. Don't just sit there and complain, because then you just get these pointless promos. And one thing I'm worried about Drew McIntyre as a character in the WWE landscape is that the more he loses, the more he's going to be a dangerous threat, considering that he got demoted down to the mid-card for like a spell looking at the Damian Priest. And yes, it would have been a great match with Jacob Fatu. And then he gets bumped back up to the Cody Rhodes saga for them just to be easily beaten 2 PLEs in a row is concerning if you're a Drew McIntyre fan. Looking at the next match, Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship. Now, this is where a title change happened. It was a 5-minute, 30-second match. They did nerf Tiffany Stratton going into this match, talking about her heel based on the attack from Jade Cargill. This is coming fresh off a Jade Cargill heel turn, and I love this match. I think it's exactly what I needed. It was borderline a squash match. We got a little offense from Tiffany Stratton. But what excites me in this new version of Jade Cargill, and I said this in the prediction, I said this countless times in the Wrestling is Cool podcast, is that this is going to be an exciting, different match because this is not the babyface Jade Cargill going up against Tiffany Stratton, which we've seen countless times. This was a heel Jade Cargill looking for vengeance and looking to put everybody on notice. And that's what happened. Jade Cargill put everybody on notice. She manhandled Tiffany Stratton and worked really well for me that she kind of got this Gunther edge, the ability to save some finishers. I really enjoyed the sequence where you had the sit-out powerbomb, 2 powerbombs, followed by the jagged edge or the Jade effect. All that kind of stuff was really, really clean, and I absolutely love how she could be much stronger than that. I want more squash matches for Jade Cargill. This is something that they did in AEW when she first came on the scene. For those of you who know, Jade Cargill, that's where she debuted in AEW, but she was super green. She didn't really have any kind of training, and what they did is she basically manhandled all her opponents, winning the championship. She was basically undefeated in her entire run in AEW, and then when she lost, that's when she went to WWE. But this was the Jade Cargill that we were being sold to when she was in AEW, and this is the Jade Cargill that we, the WWE fans, bought. Now, the WWE did their best to make her a babyface, and they were obviously setting up for the saga of Naomi and Bianca Belair, but Naomi's pregnancy and Bianca Belair's injury kind of put everything on a hold and stalled all that out. So instead, they pivoted and made Jade Cargill a heel, and it actually did work. I guess it was a blessing in disguise that she got her head cracked open on the stairs and created that epic scar, and now she has some kind of a vengeance, like I mentioned earlier, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most going forward, watching Jade Cargill. Not only that, her promo as a heel is going to be better than a babyface, because like I mentioned so many times here on this entire channel, babyface promos are not easy to pull off because they're corny, they're cheesy, and you're going to have to be believable even harder. It's easy to believe someone who has a grudge, easy to believe someone like a Drew McIntyre. In the next match, we have Dominik Mysterio versus Penta versus Rusev in a triple threat for the Intercontinental Championship. And a clear thing to point out here is that no DQ, anything goes type of rules when it comes to a triple threat. Because when I went into this match, and by far this is my match of the night, when I went into this match, I was like, dude, this is going to be the showcase match for the entire casual audience, to let everybody know, hey, you remember Rey Mysterio's son, Dominik Mysterio? You remember him being with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan? Well, this dude's on his own now, and he is now doing some Eddie Guerrero type tendencies. He is our thief of the entire WWE, and he's doing some fun stuff, and you must tune into the matches, not necessarily for the physicalness of it or not necessarily for who wins, and it's a matter of how does Dom get his way to get the dub. And I love that the WWE keeps being creative. The match was great. You have some good, like, little, I guess, highlights and some future matches, so to speak, with Rusev and Penta that you could kind of keep going with them. But, of course, is the highlight is Dominik Mysterio pulling the Eddie with the metal chair, and then the ref telling him, like, hey, dude, this is no DQ. It doesn't matter. Hilarious. I absolutely love that. And then breaking this accolade submission hold, not just breaking it up physically, but using his brain and ringing the bell, causing Rusev to break it and celebrate as if he won the IC title. Unbelievable. Genius. And then it all kind of dominoes effect into Dominik Mysterio retaining after probably his best frog splash that I've ever seen in his career. That dude got some ups. So this was the right decision. You don't want to have Dominik Mysterio drop the IC title. Now, Dom definitely is a heavy favorite going into the John Cena tournament for the retirement match. I would love to see Dom get himself to that point. I will make a video in the future talking about John Cena's tournament once they have the bracket out and we can figure out who's going to be the one that goes on to face John Cena in the next Saturday night's main event on December 13th. And in your main event, it's CM Punk versus main event Jey Uso for the vacated title of the World Heavyweight Championship. This was a 21-minute match. And this match was problematic. This match was a clear indication that I don't know what. I cheer for Jey Uso. I understand Jey Uso. I know why he's being pushed. I see the potential in Jey Uso. If you look at the Unreal documentary, they kind of not confront, but they go up to Jey and be like, hey man, we're going to stop. The Triple H goes, we're going to strap the rocket on you. And there's an immense amount of pressure for Jey Uso to deliver because now the machine is behind him. When it comes to wrestling, especially in the WWE, once the machine gets behind you, you got to step up to the plate and deliver. I'm not going to say here that Jey Uso does not deliver, but it was clear in that night in Salt Lake City on November 1st, he did not deliver. He sandbagged CM Punk multiple times. There was 2 moments that kind of stand out to me, like, I hope Jay's okay. I hope Jay's physical ability is okay, and I hope his health is okay, because Jey Uso messed up on a swinging net breaker where he kind of took it as a DDT. CM Punk literally got up and kind of bat him in the head with his foot. It wasn't really a strong kick, but it was a way to like, hey, dude, wake up. And the second time, CM Punk, I don't know, not many people talked about this, CM Punk literally goes to the bellkeeper's area, grabs a bottle of water, and throws it on Jey Uso as if to wake him up. Now, I don't know what's going on. We know that Jey Uso does get gassed in his exuberant entrance with the yeet and all that stuff with the crowd, and of course, redoing it again. But Jey Uso did not have the snap. He did not have the kind of like the urgency that you're having in a championship match. Granted, CM Punk is a great dance partner to have with anybody, and CM Punk could get a great match out of it. And by the time we got into the crescendo of this match, it finally did pick up with both wrestlers stealing signature moves and finishers. But that match, man, it pulled itself over the finish line. It was very, very sluggish. And at the same time, when CM Punk beat Jey Uso, there's a couple of tropes that I'm not enjoying in CM Punk's matches. We all know there's a new trope in wrestling now where the person, when he gets to the main event for a heavyweight title or any kind of most important like moment here, they're going to do 3 finishers. We have the triple crossroads, we have the double AA, and then the avalanche AA. We have so many instances of wrestlers doing multiple versions of their finishers, and they kind of stack them. So CM Punk has now fallen into this cadence of doing the double GTS, where the person just falls on top of them after bouncing off the ropes. I enjoyed it when I first saw it in AEW. I didn't mind it when he pulled it out in Seth Rollins on the night 1 of Netflix. But now, dude, it's getting overused. And it's at that point where you're like, I did like the last time he did it, though, because he did this twice. The second time the first time he was unable to do the second GTS because Jey Uso reversed it. But the second time was cool because it felt intentional. It wasn't CM Punk exhausted and the guy draped over him like, ooh, look at this opportunity. CM Punk goes down and do that. I want to see more intention into the double GTS rather than having it be a happenstance. And at the same time, you cannot argue that CM Punk is arguably one of the best pro wrestlers in the world, correct? And then for him to have this kind of a match set against Jey Uso didn't really elevate Jey Uso anyway, and it really de-elevated CM Punk a little bit. If CM Punk is here and Jey Uso here, and you have to really talk about that promo that they had on the go home, where CM Punk was very kind to Jey Uso, didn't torch him, didn't burn him, a la like he did LA Knight. He didn't do any of that. Instead, he just promoted the match, and then they all of a sudden, they brought CM Punk down to Jey Uso's level in the promo, and then they did the same thing into the ring. Now, CM Punk, older wrestler, right? It's hard for him to carry a match, but he did it. It was a very passable match. And at the same time, CM Punk now is your world heavyweight champion. Now, at the beginning of the video, I said that this is a long time coming, and I do believe that. There's often times in the WWE that they rather have people chase the titles. But CM Punk, he shouldn't chase the title. He should have been a champion a long time ago. You could argue that CM Punk's tendency to get injured and then, him going out, tearing his triceps with a future shock from Drew McIntyre, like all that could make you go for pause, but it's CM Punk and Seth Rollins is out. They need some big names going into Survivor Series, going into WrestleMania season, considering that John Cena is literally retiring in about a month or so from now. So putting the belt on CM Punk is really cool. I'm hoping that we get some new heel or Braun Breaker. That would be a great first feud for CM Punk. Hell, I just want somebody fresh, and I want CM Punk to be unleashed. I'm tired of the CM Punk that goes out there and cuts babyface promos just about, cheap heat type pops, cheap pops, things of that sort, where he's like, hey, I love this town. I love the people. Let me talk about your sports team. No, I like the CM Punk that was against John Cena. Like, there is flashes of CM Punk that made him so interesting in his heyday in the WWE days, in his first run. And those flashes of what made him so interesting in the AEW days, especially when he had that feud with Drew McIntyre. I just recently watched Bad Blood again. In Bad Blood, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk Hell in a Cell was a masterpiece. And I'm just hoping that we get more of that in this run for CM Punk. I do expect him to carry this title all the way to Mania. It would be interesting to see whoever beats John Cena at his December 13th. I'm hoping whoever beats him there would be that next opponent for CM Punk to keep that momentum going for the person that beats John Cena and have that wave. But keep an eye out for that video when I get that bracket. Thank you so much for watching for Saturday night's main event. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about that PLE. And hey, keep it locked in for more and sub. I really do appreciate it. Adios.